And currently, right now, this is our staff. Again, Dr. Moore is director. I serve as the program director. Ms. Edie Wall is our program manager, and Mr. Bennett serves as our graduate administrative associate, and he also does a lot of the coordination for our doctoral fellows program. So now we'll pass it back to Dr. Anthony.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Where's Brandon? So thank you very much. And it's important to note that the reason Ohio State really laid out so much of what they're doing is because you'll see a lot of that mirrored in what we do here. And we've adopted this model kind of from start to finish, right? So talking about some of these pieces, strategic implementation of a lot of what we're trying to do. And I'm gonna have Brandon talk a little bit about the gauging and assessing student needs, but and also collaborating, right? So picking up the best practices, really staying true to this notion of how do we pick up what's happening well at other places and then implement it here. So Brandon.
Okay. We all know the importance of adequately assessing student needs, but we also want to adequately address them as well. Being a student leader here at the university, I've been afforded the opportunity to work with faculty and staff in various capacities, and I've seen firsthand the power that they possess. We absolutely need them in aiding and supplementing the efforts of this task force, as it is not just a concern of the handful of gentlemen that you have here, but it is a university-wide concern. We also have to do a better job of working with them in order to achieve these desired student outcomes. If we want to get our graduation rates and retention rates up to that level that we want them to be at, we have to work collectively as a university and as a community to achieve that goal.
So if any of those, we're about to be at the 1:30 mark. If you have to leave, that of course is okay. We have probably about 10 minutes left and we'll be done, right? So Chris.
Thank you, Michael Anthony. All right, so I'm about to go over one of the programs that we plan to do starting this year. Then the next day, we have full day of events, Monday as well as Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll wrap it up because we know they're going to need some rest time before Welcome Weekend starts on Thursday, and then they'll be full of even more activities before school. Going to detail some of the things, move-in will be that morning. We have students come in. They'll go on and check into their dorms early, okay, their own individual dorms. As time goes on, registration, moving on to discussion. Parents will still be here, okay? So we're actually going to accommodate for them during the first day. We're going to have activities going. We're going to have plenty of Q&A discussions with faculty, staff, and current students. Now, the big thing about this early arrival program is that this is the opportunity for these students to get connected. This is possibly one of the most important parts of the entire initiative because these are when the students are coming in. Like they mentioned earlier, this will get them connected. They will feel like they have a support system. 3 days with us. And this is not just going to be 3 days of us talking their heads off about what they should do in college, how they should be good students, but we're going to talk to them like real people. We're going to have fun with them. This isn't just going to be learning. This is going to be getting to know each other, building bonds. The best we can do in 3 days, okay? So this is not strictly for that, but it's for everybody, building that support system. So as we will discuss many different topics. We'll have different people come in who will lead these workshops. Right now, these are a lot of things that are tentative. We have the summer to progress and get in touch with people, make things more solid, of course. But all these different things will come into play. Like I said, it will be interactive. It will be fun. It will be engaging. Finally, at the end, we are thinking about doing something, not only just taking them off campus to that, but maybe taking them somewhere in the city. Perhaps some type of field trip so they'll get to know more about the city because not all of our young men are from Louisville, of course. So they need to know where they are, not just the campus. So this will be the first event to actually get ourselves kicked off and the young men kicked off into their college career and to build those bonds especially. So my pleasure to introduce Mr. Dwayne Compton. You talk about 55,000 degrees.
All right. So this is important on a large scale, more so for the university. Universities should want to have an initiative like this. But we do have some things that guide us. And before I talk about the 55,000 degrees, we have the 2020 strategic plan that the university has set forth for us. And in that, it speaks to more recruitment and retention and graduation of African-American students, as well as the campus at large. I want to acknowledge Ms. Ray Helton, if you can raise your hand. Ms. Ray Helton is here at the University of Louisville. She's actually one of the pinpoint persons in regards to this 55,000 degrees, but the state of Kentucky has an initiative to double the number of degrees statewide. All right. our portion of that here in the Metro Louisville area is 55,000 degrees. All right, so we want to make sure we're doing what we can, but it starts when the students are K through 12. All right, 100 Black Men had a theme a few years ago, is what they see is what they'll be. So if we can get AMI off the ground, get it running, get some of our young men on the right track, they can serve as excellent models for those young men that are in elementary, middle, and high school. All right, there are a lot of different peer mentoring programs that we can utilize, but a lot of times we know what they're seeing in their communities and their neighborhoods, and it's not academic success. It's not going to college. In order for us to reach this goal, we have to reach down, all right, to those that's in K through 12, to create and support a college-going culture. And then I'm going to jump down and really make post-secondary education accessible, all right, because a lot of students don't really see this as an option for them because of the communities in which they live in.
In moving us towards that goal, Dr. Sujay always says this quote that I always mess up, but it has to do with, rising tides lift all ships. Bam, there we go. There it is, from the mouth, right? Yes, it's that kind of notion. So for those of our partners who see this, please examine this through the lens of an institutional initiative to raise our retention numbers, which is everybody's business. And we do target, because we know that in these kind of systems, we have to target those populations who may not be succeeding for whatever reason. The University of Louisville has an opportunity here to be a leader, regionally and nationally, on turning this tide, much like we do with community engagement and how we put a lot of attention behind the area of diversity and success for students who haven't succeeded. We have the perfect laboratory to do it. We have a city that's metro and urban in its nature. We have the largest, the most diverse population within our population here at the University of Louisville, and we have the talent around the room to make that happen. And so we need only pay attention. Right? Pay attention and move forward with what we have to do. And we can do some really remarkable things, but it's that kind of excitement we have to build around what this is. And it's not about just, as much as it is, it's not just about African-American men, right? Because you saw the numbers, and I hope we made the case that population, there's something going on there. But then we can look at our brothers who are Hispanic, Latino, we can look at our low-income students. You start disaggregating this more, you start seeing where the numbers stack up against our low-income students, right? So if we can create a model that works, we'll see great change in our campus environment. So I can't thank you enough for your support and for just being here. We really want your honest feedback about how we can make this thing work and how you in your own pockets can make sure African-American men are connecting to us. Not because every African-American man needs help, and it's like, well, just assume that they're gonna have to go to us, but because we wanna know who they are. And we want to make sure that they're being supported. And we want to celebrate their success if they don't need help and if they're being successful. So for the advisors in the room and the faculty and administrators and the people who are working with the students, we need you to be the voice, right? And we want your honest feedback. So fill out those forms. You have our email addresses. You know my email address as well. Let us know what's going on. And we thank you so much for your time and attention. So thank you.